What's up, lovely people? My name is Ghanaian, and this is Rams with Ahmed. You're welcome to this episode of Rams. Where is Aaron Adjetey Akron, the gay turned straight who almost lost it all again? Where is he? He was all over the place. People were talking about him. And where is he now? People of God, let me ask you a simple question. What happens when someone leaves darkness for light and the church forgets to keep the switch on? What happens? Write in the comment section. Write your answer. What happens when someone leaves darkness for light, but the church forgets their responsibility? The church forget what they are supposed to do. The church lay silent and forgets to keep the switch of the light on. It's sad, eh? Yeah, very sad. And mostly that is what the church does. That is what the church does. The church forgets. When someone comes to church, the church is always like, it is always like a happy moment, a happy time. But low-key, after that very moment, within that second, we forget to keep the switch on for that person. Is that hypocrisy? Or is that to show them? I don't know what that means. Really bad and really seems fake. Just stop that thing and don't do that again. God is watching. Jesus Christ are watching you. This is the Ghanaian guy who boldly came out and said, I'm no longer a gay. I have met Christ and he has changed me. I am now a changed person. You know, the most interesting part is that TV shows invited him. Churches clapped for him. Pastors invited him and gave him microphones. But when the applause faded, the question is, who stayed? Who? From left to right, who stayed? The breadth, north to south, who stayed? But you were clapping for him and you were making it seem, and suddenly he felt, and even people were calling him prophet, people were calling him pastor. I have made a video about that. If you haven't seen that video, just go, click here and you'll see the video when it all started. I talked about it. See, when Aaron came out and boldly proclaimed that he was no longer gay, the whole nation shook. The whole nation was in awe. The whole nation was surprised. Oh, like, wow, a young man boldly coming out, forgetting about his image, forgetting about the stigmatization in the society, forgetting about all those. He came out and he proclaimed, I am no more a gay. I have met Christ and I have changed. I am delivered by Christ. My brother no hide out. With his full chest, he came out to talk about it. That shows the passion and the love he has gained for Christ. That shows the readiness he had. He said, I used to live an LGBTQ plus lifestyle, but now I am changed. Now I'm not part of them. Jesus has saved me and I'm no longer there. See, let me tell you, that kind of boldness is not given by men. That kind of boldness is not given by your mother and your father. That kind of boldness is not taken from the history books. That kind of boldness is only given when God gives you the Spirit. When you are really ready and you want to do what you said you want to do. That kind of boldness comes from God. It is not beans. God's boldness is not beans. That kind of fake boldness people have. No. This boldness is what we are talking about. It's not gobe. It's not gobe boldness. It's a real boldness that makes you stand out, regardless of what will come. See, that guy didn't just confess. He didn't just come out to speak. He testified on radio, on TV, in churches, at crusade grounds. He was the kingdom salt to pour in our moments, in our days. Aaron spoke about how God delivered him and rescued him from sins, identity crisis, and even much more demonic oppressions. He told us in those moments of his life what he could do to himself He told us he trusted the church and he gave his life, heart, mind, and everything, even his voice, to the church, wishing the church will be there. Until this happened. There is a part we missed. This church, this same church, which cheered him, gave him all the praises, gave him all the accolades, disappeared on him when silent mode activated on the part of the church towards the guy who trusted them. This guy became like the man in Luke chapter 10, wounded on the road of Jericho. Pastors passed by, church elders passed by, bishops passed by, church Christians passed by, but only a Samaritan helped. A stranger helped. Someone who probably might not be in the church helped. And normally, you know, right? When someone is in the church and is being helped by someone who is not in the church, mostly about 70% of what I'm saying is right. The person who is not in church who helped him or her might deviate him from church, might deviate him from being in love with Christ again, might not end up telling him about the love of Christ he has found now. You know. But you know the funny thing? In Aaron's case, even the Samaritan self no show. Yes, the Samaritan self no show. Galatians 6 verse 1, the Bible says, if someone is caught in a sin, you who live by the Spirit should restore the person gently. If someone is caught up in sin, you who live by the Spirit, you the church, you the pastors, you the elders, you the bishops, you the Christians, you should restore that person gently, in a very amicable way, in a very loving way. But in his case, what happened? Who restored Aaron? Who cared for Aaron? Who mentored Aaron? Who even sometimes called him, hey, are you okay? I have 20 cedis for you. Who did that? Who guided him in spiritual things? Nobody. Nobody discipled him even. Who discipled him? Nobody. We all went silent. And we call ourselves Christians. We call ourselves pastors. We say we are on grounds winning souls every day. Who are you? Just look at yourself. Look at your behavior as a Christian, as a pastor, as a bishop, as a minister of God. Ask yourself, who are you? Someone who neglects your responsibility. Oh, shame. So when all these things happened, that Aaron never got anybody support from the church, guess what happened? The community out of which he came were there to support him. Yes. The community out of which he walked away. The clubbing friends, the gay friends, the drinkers, the smokers, that kind of lifestyle gang people. Some of them were there to show him love. The love that you forfeit him. The love that we never gave to him when he came. The love that we kept away from him. He got it from where he came from again. If you're a pastor, if you're a Christian, if you're a bishop, you should be bowing your head in shame and be shedding tears for what we have done to this gentleman. Aaron Adjetey Akron. We should be crying, weeping bitterly, and look for him and apologize to him what we have done to him. They cared for him. They loved him. They did the most for him. And little by little, he nearly slipped. He nearly slipped. Because a video of him showed up when people even ridiculed him when he was in the club. drinking and dancing, after years of proclaiming his release from the tentacles and the chains of the evil one. Now he's here again. Someone who has proclaimed Jesus Christ is now here, dancing to songs and doing all those kind of girly moves. And you call yourself a Christian. See, church folks, let me tell you something. It's very important to know that deliverance is a doorway, but discipleship is the journey. Most people move from singing secular songs and come to Christianity and they call themselves evangelists, they call themselves prophets, they call themselves pastors. Without discipleship, without mentorship, and they come up with some kind of stories. When you come out of any world into the Christianity, you have to know that the Christian fraternity is also another world altogether, and there are greater forces that are fighting here in this kingdom, this Christian kingdom, this Christendom. There are greater and mighty powers fighting here than where you are coming from. So you don't need to quickly jump into leadership. Just be in the low key. Be following, be prayed for, follow prayers, go to church, love God, read the scriptures for yourself, follow, learn. The more you learn, the more knowledgeable you become. But remember, your knowledge is your power. So, deliverance is a doorway. That guy was delivered, but where was the discipleship? Nobody. Think say Christian, the Christian thing. You think say it is beans and bread. Christian thing is not beans and bread. It's not beans and bread. Read my lips. Aaron Adjetey Akron did not need a microphone. He needed a mentor. He did not need a pulpit. He needed a pastor who would sit with him in his pains and guide him through. That was all he needed. That was all he needed. We could not give him this simple thing. And we call ourselves Christians. We go to church. For what are you there for? For what are you there? To whom? To whom to? Charlie, it depends. Sometimes when you look at the way we are doing the Christian thing now, you see, say, Charlie, we know the force. Hey, we know the force. And when we are abused, we are being abused. Then we just say, Christians, we live our fight for God. We live our fight for Christ. Christ is our fighter. Meanwhile, your own little part you didn't do. Remember, just stay there. Romans 15:1 says, we who are strong ought to bear the feelings of the weak and not to please ourselves. We need to bear the feelings of the weak and not to please ourselves. So you cannot just get up one day, cast your past away and think you are okay. You need to walk with people. You need to get yoked with believers. Iron sharpened iron. Iron go sharpen iron. Iron go sharpen iron. You see say plastic they sharpen iron before, or you see say wood they sharpen iron. Iron sharpened iron. So my question to the church is, where is Aaron right now? Where is he? Aaron has gone off the radar. No more interviews, no more church photos. We don't see anything from him. Even people believe he's gone back to the streets and he's gone back to where he came from. But the truth of the matter is this: he needs help. He needs help. Why? Christians rise, oh, pastors rise, oh, evangelists rise, oh. It is because of the Christendom that he is going through all this. He needs help, oh. Go and get him and help him. Let's go and get him and help him. It's becoming too much. And as I'm talking about help, I'm talking about help with no judgmental eyes, but real and spirit-led. That kind of help is what I'm talking about. Even Jesus said in John 6:39, he said, of all those he has given me, I shall lose none. Of all those he has given me, Jesus said to himself, I shall lose none. But just look at yourself. Since you became a pastor for just 2 years now, how many have you lost? You now, how many have you lost? Just think about it. You became a pastor for just 1 year. Look at how many you have lost. You became a bishop. Look at how many, through your ministry, look at how many you have lost. Jesus Christ are watching you. My question is, are we losing Aaron now? Or just that we don't really care about him? We don't value him anymore? What is the problem? We must look for him, reach out to him, mentor him, fund his healing journey. When I say fund, I don't mean money. Spiritually, in any way, let's fund his healing journey. Not to invite him to testify alone, but to also grow. That's the most important thing. Different people have different gifts in the Christendom, different strengths in the Christendom. Some can pray for him, some can give him things, money and things. Some can talk to him, some can advise him. We can do many things. We have different people with different strengths in the Christendom. So what are you talking about? What is your excuse? I don't have money, or I don't have money. Who told you to give him money? James 5:20 says, and I read, whoever turns a sinner from the error of their ways will save them from death and cover over a multitude of sins. Meaning, if you are able to lead someone from sins, if you take them out of their sins, if you pray for them, if you advise them, if you guide them, if you lead them out of their sins, you will save them from death. And that thing you have done will cover a multitude of sins they have committed. That means they will find favor, they will find grace when they meet God. So where is Aaron again? The gay who turned straight and nearly fell by the roadside again. See, let me tell you, Aaron is a symbol of how far the church has fallen. Yes, how far the church has failed. He's a symbol of how far. Probably he even came to test the system. God used him to test, and we failed God. Where is he? I went to check his Instagram the last time. Come on, man. Let's be serious as a church. We have an assignment. We are on a mission. We are not like everybody else. Let's do our work and do it more diligently. But it's not too late. Let's rise as a real body of Christ. Not just be the shouting part, but the part that carries burdens as well. If you believe this message, join the conversation in the comment section. Drop a prayer. And pastors, elders, the youth, let's go find Aaron. And subscribe to Rhymes with Afil and Nadum for more truth, more kingdom vibes, and more healing stuff. We don't just gist, we go for souls. Until the next episode, I sign off. God bless you.